Good morning, Twitch.tv. Good morning to YouTube as well. And, of course, good morning, Mini Motorways. Let's go to Mumbai for today's daily challenge. Although, it occurs to me, if we back out here real quick and go to our main menu, there is something new. There is a new level. Maybe we just go say hi. Come here. All the way, there are so many levels, all the way to our brandy newest level, Cape Town, South Africa. We can skirt the slopes of Table Mountain, one of the most iconic landmarks. Let's go to Cape Town for the hell of it. We've got Table Mountain right there. We've got some greens. We have no restrictions or limitations. The world is our oyster and never shall we know pain. Or at least we don't have to worry about, like, definitely not getting motorways or nothing. Oh, Sam did the daily challenge, and instead, the spirit of competition compels him to try to beat me in Cape Town. Rude, Sam. Rude. How dare you? You had no clue there was no new level. Well, that's because you are not on the Dinosaur Polo Club socials list, because I, flex my streamer muscle, am a trusted brand partner of the dear folks at Dinosaur Polo Club. That's right. Casey Lucas knows who I am when she emails me, which happened a year, so never mind. Anyway. We've got, let's get these greens up here into there. We'll get this one going off that away as well. Actually, you can go that way. You go that way. You go up there. That makes more sense. You two go this way. Let's take 2 traffic lights just to say that we have traffic lights and probably never use traffic lights. But hey, you know. So Cape Town, it was advertised as a bit of a challenge. A bit of a challenge in terms of how you're going to approach it. We do have some water over here. I don't have any bridges, but trust me, this is water. And we, of course, have the mountain. And now we have well, okay. That was almost scary until I remembered that these 2 greens can also go down this way. So now the 5 of these greens will serve this circle. These 2 greens will come up here. We've got a lovely little Green Bay Packers thing going on here, which is then ruined by the presence of orange. But, you know, we can say that this is the Bears, and Cape Town, South Africa is just home of all the fans of the NFC North. That seems unlikely, but, you know, if we get some purple to go with our yellows and greens and oranges and such, it becomes plausible. Let's run this yellow up over to here. This road will come down this way. Render unto me a roundabout. Thank you very much. I've got this yellow house here not really doing nothing. I guess we'll staple it off over this way. Sort of awkward to have 3 houses serve one business and only one serve the other, but details. It'll be fine. It will, in all likelihood, be completely that's a circle now. Okay. Well, the good news about it being a circle now is more houses are spawning to support it. Yeah, more houses are spawning to support it. That's the good news about it being a circle now. Let's go with that. So Tony Clark quit. Tony Clark was the head of the Major League Baseball Players Association, also known as the Only Good Professional Sports Players Association. Mostly, it must be noted, due to the actions of people who were in the MLBPA when Tony Clark was still a player. But, you know, he had also been the head of that union for a while. Why are the other associations bad? I mean, the long and the short of it is the other major player associations have conceded significantly more ground to ownership than has the MLBPA. For instance, Major League Baseball, rather famously, is the only one of the major American professional sports that does not have a salary cap. And that is due pretty much entirely to the actions and intensity and demands of the Major League Baseball Players Association. the owners would love to have a salary cap. Now, there's been a lot of chatter recently about whether MLB should have a salary cap. Short answer, no. What are we going to do just real quick about this garbage going on here? We do have some garbage going on here with this. Yeah, this is bad. This is actually a bad intersection right here. This is a right turn. Yeah, you don't want to put a traffic light here. A traffic light would just make this worse. I don't really see a path to making this a PCTL, so I think we're just going to leave this unlit right now. And that's going to be difficult for folks coming out of here and turning left, but you're just going to kind of have to deal with it. Yeah, I think they're just going to kind of have to deal with it. So the MLBPA, back in this has always been the case, getting back to the days of the reserve clause and how much MLBPA fought against that and eventually won that fight. But the MLBPA has stridently refused to allow the owners to impose a salary cap, which is a good part of the reason why Major League Baseball players make so much money and also have so much of their salaries guaranteed. Like, you will hear, when, we're going to throw out some numbers here. When Bally McGood Baseball Guy signs a 6-year, $300 million contract, it might be the case these days that some of that money or a lot of that money is deferred and he's actually going to be paid like $250 million over the next 6 years and then incremental payments of $10 million a year for the next 5 or whatever. But the point is, if he signs a $300 million contract, he's going to get $300 million. When Footy McQuarterback signs a $300 million contract to be the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys or whatever, he's not getting $300 million. That quote-unquote $300 million contract is full of escalator clauses and, roster bonuses and kind of bullshit fake numbers that everyone agrees aren't real. And in 2 years, the Cowboys are going to restructure Footy McQuarterback's contract, or Footy McQuarterback's not going to be good at football anymore, or, and this is another thing that the NFL does a lot more than other leagues, and MLB certainly doesn't allow as much as other leagues, Footy McQuarterback is going to, wear red shoes on Everybody Has to Wear Black Shoes Day and be fined $50,000. And that's going to happen to him in the NFL a lot more than it happens to Johnny Good Baseball Guy or whatever the hypothetical dude who signed a $300 million contract with the Texas Rangers got. Like, the NFL is much more restrictive of its players in ways that go beyond but certainly include their financial compensation than MLB. By the way, this road here is ridiculous. This motorway number 2 that we've had to just build, it's obscene. So we're going to put 3 houses on it, get this over to here. It'll be eventually okay, maybe. That's currently the hope. Let's go with that. So the MLBPA has a really good and strong players union. Most of that is due to the actions of the MLBPA, particularly in the 1990s. Like, the strike of 1994 and the lockout of 2002 were very important moments for MLBPA in its history. Both of these involved the owners saying, "Oh, we don't have nearly as much money as it very obviously looks like we have on account of us being the richest motherfuckers in the world." And the MLBPA calling bullshit on that. I don't think there actually was a lockout in 2002. There were, I don't remember because this all came up mid-season. Mid-2000s, early 2000s, 2002 specifically, after 2 CBAs after the 1994 strike, the Major League Baseball claimed that it was in horribly dire financial straits to the point where there were serious discussions about contracting teams. Like, there were it looked for a minute there like the Minnesota Twins were just not gonna exist anymore. And this was all centered, they were going to contract the Twins in the Expos. This was all part of labor negotiations. This was the owners crying poverty and the players calling bullshit and the owners damn near canceling a season mid-season because of it. Part of what came out of the 2002 negotiations is the fact that they all wisened up and were like, hey, let's not have these fucking talks mid-fucking season. It's a really bad look for us to just stop playing in the middle and go, hey, no more baseball. It's mostly a bad look for the players because the owners, after all, control the media and therefore have a great say over the narrative. See also everybody whining about the Dodgers right now. But yeah. So the long and the short of it is that the MLBPA is and has been a really strong players union. Certainly the strongest of the major sports players unions in the major American sports. And some of that, you can go back and forth over how much of that, and I, to be honest, am not a major scholar of professional sports labor negotiations and could not accurately tell you how much, but certainly some of that is due to the tenure of Tony Clark as the head of the Major League Baseball Players Association. Well, it turns out that there was a scam going around a few years ago. I don't know all of the details of this one, but there was some agency thing that was basically bilking money out of the players, and Tony Clark was involved in that. And that's bad. You shouldn't ought to do that. So he was under literal, actual federal investigation for that. And as if that wasn't enough, it gets worse. Yesterday, Mr. Clark resigned, and then it quickly came out that he had been having an affair with his sister-in-law, to whom he had given a job at the Major League Baseball Players Association. So, don't do that, friends. Welcome to management courses in ethics with the _Goog. I am your professor, the _Goog. Let's all gesture vaguely at Mr. Clark's recent activity. Has everyone taken it in? Here is today's lesson. Don't do that. This has been Management Ethics with the _Goog. Title of the episode, at least so far. Management Ethics with the _Goog. Yeah, don't do that. Don't, it is bad form as a leader and negotiator to carry on an affair with your sister-in-law whom you have hired. Don't do that. It puts you in a poor negotiating position to have been having an illicit affair with your sister-in-law. I do not yet know, and this may be important. I do not yet know if it is his wife's sister or his brother's wife. Both of these are bad, to be clear. Both of these are bad and things that you should not do. Just in case anyone was getting any thoughts about technicalities or loopholeries or anything, don't do any of those things. Okay, what is going on with these yellows? This seems bad. I don't like this. I don't love what's going on up here with two yellow businesses basically smack dab in a blue neighborhood. It doesn't seem conducive. It's entirely okay. All right, this white is going to go off that way. That's going to be fine. This white, okay, let's take tunnel because we need tunnel on account of the rocks. Did we mention the rocks and the false bay and the table bay? Okay. Not to mention the hoity-toity Holland Mountains. I'm sorry. I apologize to the good people of Cape Town, but no, we shall never. First of all, drop those Hollands in the chat. Very important that we do that. Second of all, these are now and forever the hoity-toity Holland Mountains. That's just a thing that is going to be a thing. What are we going to do about... Ooh, we can't put... this square right here seems to be out of bounds for spawning, which is kind of unfortunate. The hoity-toity Holland Mountains. Yeah, you're right. One of the titles of the episode. Absolutely. The hoity-toity Holland Mountains. Let's see here. What are we going to do about these white businesses? Let's see here. Let's take these two white houses, run them down here, and do this ridiculous bridge. I think this ridiculous bridge will service this business quite well. As for this one, wonderful question. Well, here's my bad plan. Observe my bad plan. We take these two white houses, we toss them onto this road here, and we run them over that-a-way. Got a green business over there, needs green in with. What if we take this road here, loop it over and so, such that these two greens serve this business. That then screws over this business. However, you may already be understanding my direction here. If we just up and down, and I'm out of road. Well, balls. Fortunately, it is Sunday already, so you'll be just fine for a day or so. Get a couple more tiles back once this car goes out of here. That's something. Doot and doot, and I only need a handful, and it is now Monday. Render unto me 30 more road. Thank you. All right, so these three houses will zoop up this way, and they'll slither and snake down here. Take care of this business. That'll be fine. Would it matter to cut this corner at all? If I do this, is that going to save me a couple of tiles? That might save me a couple of tiles. Or it might not. Cat, what horrible noises are you making in the kitchen, and how scared should I be? I think she's probably just pooping, and therefore it's probably just fine. All right. Ooh, we got a blue here now. That's not great, actually. Samurai Sam would like to remember Barry Windham. I have no memories of Barry Windham. I'm aware that Barry Windham was a professional wrestler. I believe he's a well-regarded one. I don't know that I've ever seen Barry Windham wrestle. Sam, you're a mod. You go ahead and refund yourself those points for remember a guy. I don't remember that guy. That's a guy whose name I've heard. Oh, we have failed to remember a guy. Sad. Seriously though, what are we gonna do about this blue? I don't have a good answer here. So let's have a bad answer here. Behold, a bad answer here. All right. We're going to make a roundabout. It's the start of all the best bad answers. We're going to steal one of the blues out of here. We're going to run it in here, and we're just going to do that. There. Behold. A roundabout, which will solve all of life's problems, except for, the problematic ones. The problematic problems are just fucked. But, it has been 0 days since Goog referenced the horrors or something. We'll take another tunnel. This traffic light is a nightmare. Holy hell. Look at this traffic light. It certainly doesn't help that this traffic light is also right next to two businesses that are both holding up traffic. So, yeah. Also, this green circle is now mad on account of only having two houses going to it, which I understand. Let's increase its house population by 50% or so. And then, is there anything else I can do about that? I don't know that there's anything else I can necessarily do about that. I think maybe the two more cars coming from over here is just going to have to be the bulk of the solution there, which is not really enough of a solution. The bulk of that solution is not nearly capable of... Okay, can we get a skull of that solution? No? We only have a bulk and no skull? Well, what's the point of that? All right. Here. Let's connect this road right here. And by connecting this road right here, I've added 1, 2, 3 greenhouses that very technically can get to this business. I don't know that they're going to on account of the general green disasters happening, but, you know, we only have so many choices. There's only so much we can do in our lives or something. Here, you point that way. I've stolen a blue from over to here. This blue over there now serves this blue circle. Okay, everybody's mad. I also have 2 spare motorways that I'm not using. So it's kind of silly to just be so angrily businessed. And yeah, it's not good times, Sam, if we're being honest with ourselves. I have 2 motorways. I should probably use them before I die. Hot take, I know. You should use your motorways before you fucking die. Let's take... I'm going to pull these 2 greenhouses off of here. I'm not going to do anything with them yet. The plan is that these 2 greenhouses get motorwayed over here. Actually, we can put that motorway in place right now. Let's remember a guy, Disco Inferno. Oh, God, Disco Inferno. That's a hell of a... So, Disco Inferno, guy by the name of Glenn Gilberti. Anytime you know a professional wrestler's real name offhand, it's probably not great. I've noticed. That's not always true. But anytime you know a professional wrestler's real name offhand, doesn't bode well. These yellow houses are now technically connected to these yellow businesses, which, that's probably bad and part of the reason everything's dying. Oh, well. So Disco Inferno was a decent little mid-card act in WCW. He was reasonably entertaining and over. The next person who tells me a very good match Disco Inferno was ever in will be the first person to tell me that. He was okay. Sam, let us know when you're up over 1690, which is the score to beat here. We've unlocked the Tunnel Trouble Challenge, which has... I don't know, infinite tunnels. Tunnels are good, but you don't. Okay. Infinite free tunnels, but that's all you effing get. Okay. All right. Good luck with that, Cape Town. Oof. Let us bring in today's Wordle. The Wordle today, obviously, is Disco. Clearly, it's not, but okay. So Disco Inferno is a perfectly fine low to mid-card WCW wrestler. He's over as a comedy act. He had a fun little tag team with Alex Wright where they were dancing guys, and then Alex Wright turned into basically Hitler, and that's the Berlin gimmick. But anyway, Disco Inferno was a fine little professional wrestler. He wasn't very good, but he was reasonably entertaining. He was also all over television, always had something happening, was always a pushed act, and reasonably pushed act. He was never the world champion or nothing, because even the people who loved and befriended him, which is why he got into the business, were like, yeah. Oh, Sam had a chance to get $400 in Balatro and unlock whatever Joker you unlock from that. I forget what Joker you unlock by doing that. It's probably one of the money ones. If I had to pull a guess out of thin air, it would be Golden Ticket, but it's a shame. It's a thing you can do if you specifically point yourself toward doing it, or if you get incredible econ. Yeah, if you get incredible econ in a Balatro run, you can get to $400. It's a good thing to do. Having money is how you make luck happen. That's true in life, as it is in Balatro. Oh, God. So Disco Inferno was, fine. But he had a... how do we put this generously? Disco Inferno thought that he was a much better wrestler than he was. And Disco Inferno thought that he was much more important to the wrestling business than he was. And Disco Inferno thought that he had a lot more to teach young, aspiring professional wrestlers than he did. And actually, every past tense I've said in that sentence should have been present tense, because this is all just true. This is a man who has a very high opinion of himself, and an accurate opinion of Disco Inferno, to be generous, would have been, yeah, he was all right. I remember that guy. Disco Inferno, a guy you remember, except wrestlers know him for being a tremendous dick. Oh, let's see here. The Wordle today can't be Olive, sadly, because there's no I. The Wordle today is Mongi. Now, granted, that's not a word, but we're heading in the right direction. No, we're not really heading in the right direction, are we? The Wordle today is Gorge. Gorge is a terrible guess, and I've been justly punished for it. But we found out where the O goes. That's nice. God, every time I say that, it sounds like a Shel Silverstein book. Could it be young? Could be young, couldn't it? Could absolutely be young. Can't be wild and young, but it could at least be young. Let's see here. As a U now. So could it be? No, it can't be rogue because there's no E. Can't be roguey because there's no Y, and also that's not how you spell that. Mogul? Could it be mogul? Could be mogul. Nothing saying it's not mogul. In fact, it's mogul. So the TLDR is that Disco Inferno was a fine little professional wrestler who, in his post-wrestling career, has become a bit of a wrestling pundit. And believe me, the mediocre professional wrestler to high opinion of himself professional wrestling pundit pipeline is vast. It contains such luminaries as Disco Inferno and Bubba Ray Dudley. Basically made post-careers for themselves as mediocre professional wrestlers who now hold themselves out as the high, mighty arbiters of what constitutes good professional wrestling. One could also argue that Brian Alvarez was at the start of this, but I digress. Let us do some time guessing here. We are in a building. Oh, that guy knows there's a camera. And he's like, oh, camera, but I'm eating. Everyone else is just having their chit-chats. All right, we got some flags going on here. These are... I feel like these might be state flags. Like, that's the flag of Ohio right there. That's Ohio. That's North Carolina. Okay, so these are state flags. That might be Texas. So we got some state flags happening. Interesting. What we got picture-wise? That might be Richard Nixon. That is definitely Henry Kissinger. Fuck you, Hank. Glad you're dead. World's better without you, fucker. That's a guy. That's a... Oh, hi. IRUSA. The Islamic Relief? Relates? Republic? No. Okay, so this is some hey, let's not be horrible to Muslims summit somewhere in the United States. Which, hey, let's not be horrible to Muslims, people of the United States. That would be good. It would be good to not be horrible to Muslims. Title of the episode, Let's Not Be Horrible to Muslims. All right. Now, unfortunately, the question of where the fuck is this remains open. You know, we got a guy. That might not be him. Yeah, it probably is. Okay. So if we're somewhere in the United States and there's a whole bunch of I don't suppose this just has, like, the Great Seal of the District of Columbia or nothing, because... Oh, boy. I don't know, man. We got all these state flags lining the place, so... The only place where all the states come together, really, sort of, is D.C., so... Map, why do you think we're in Antarctica? We're not in Antarctica, Map. Man, I got no idea. This is... Washington, D.C., 2014. Yeah, sure. Sure, this is a late-term Obama presidency joint. Yeah. I don't think we're literally at the White House. Let's say we're at the Foggy Bottom campus of George Washington University, just for funnies, in 2014. That seems conceivable. We are, in fact, in Washington, D.C. in 2016. Good job, Goog. Next. We got some folks running, particularly perhaps doing a marathon. Or, well, hold on. I'm sorry. Nope. Nope. Don't make that joke. Don't make that joke. Don't make that joke. So your shirts here all say that you're in Budapest, huh? Okay. Well, nope, don't make that joke. Moving on. So, is that like... Is that the way people from Budapest say Budapest? Would be weird. You're all sponsored by British Airways. This couldn't be the London Marathon, could it? I don't know. Let's try to glean some information from cars. I've gleaned no information. Okay. This is a drive... Well, we've gleaned the information that this is a drive on the right place. And if this is a drive on the right place, the fact that we're sponsored by British Airways does not mean we're in Jolly London Town. Because Jolly London Town is a drive on the left place. So. Instead, let's just assume that we're in Budapest and try to figure out when the hell we are. We are in Budapest in 19... Don't Move the Thing? No, this is after 19 Don't Move the Thing. This is 1974? 74? I feel pretty good about 1974. Maybe even a little bit later than that, like 19... Could this be 1980? I don't think it's 1980. Well, that guy's glasses, and maybe this is 1980. All right, I'm going to split the difference, and we're in Budapest in 1977. Now, Hungary, right? Budapest is in Hungary? Budapest sounds like the founders of the city thought a certain religious figure was obnoxious. Yep, that's... it's entirely possible that our dear friend Siddhartha Gautama was annoying at some point in his life. He was a real Budapest. So we are like here in Budapest, Hungary in 77. Shouldn't have split the difference, should have kept going. We are in Budapest, Hungary in 1986. Okay, fine. Next, we've got dogs and folks. Interesting. Hi there, dogs. Aw, look at the puppies. Look at the puppies. Here. All right, so we got folks on boats. We got folks coming off of boats. We got vaguely Middle Eastern looking folks on boats. So, hold on. Ah, crap, this isn't in English. Ah, son of a fuck. Eau Claire Racing's lens, medium Hongqing rock on Old Galala Road, La Lamborghini Opel. I don't think that was very helpful. I don't think we learned much there. See, people who know Dutch can look at this and say, oh, that's Dutch. Okay. Yep. Hello, handwritten Dutch. Thank you, Peter S. All right. Cool. So we're in Constantinople. Constantinople, yeah. You know, given the... Oh, yeah, I can see that. Constantinople. Okay. Yeah, all right. This is the European side of Istanbul, not Constantinople. We have one joke about this, and I would tell it, but it's nobody's business but the Turks. Oh, that's the joke. Get it? I made the joke. Oh, we are in Istanbul, which is right here in 19... Yeah, I just wanted to... Yeah, given the old-timiness of the photo and the general dress of the folk and such, we were just going to 19 herk the thing all the way to the left. So we've herked the thing all the way to the left. It was 1910, and we were up over that away. Okay. Next. Round 4. We've got a palm tree and some weird dot art. You look like robots tossing balls back and forth. Interesting. This person here is very angry about something. Can I tell? Oh, that might be Mexico. Right there, MEX. So this could be a Mexican car. Do we have a closer license plate to? Aha, we have a closer license plate to. Yep. All right, so this is Mexico, and your registration expires in 1970. So... At Mexico City, 1970, that feels fine to me. I'm not opposed to the idea of Mexico City, 1970. Thanks, one car's license plate. I think you've given me everything I could possibly glean. You're the 100 to 106 bus. That's cool. Yep, Mexico City, Mexico, 1970. Gonna be good enough for me. Boop. And boop. Mexico City, Mexico, 1970. Hooray! 9,900 points. 9,900 points for the Goog. 9,900 points. Nope, I'll stop that right now. All right. So we've got a new and happy China, which is good. It's a weird thing for Madrid, Spain to say, but could be a new and happy China. This is the Association of Italian Motherfuckers in China. Hold on. I'm guessing that this word probably means something in other languages, but I cannot see paisanos and not think of Paulie Gaultier. This is the Association of Sopranos fans in China. Okay. So is there like a Chinatown in Madrid, Spain? Because I think we're in Chinatown in Madrid, Spain. Yeah, this is the Chinatown district of Madrid, Spain, in 20 wonderful question. We should probably try to figure out a win of this at some point. So you're from the 29th of presumably January to the 16th of February. Okay. That doesn't help much. That's months. We need year. I could try to figure out when the 16th of February would have been a... No, that would be a horrible exercise. We've got... Look at the phones. We've got some fairly modern phonage going on here. We're basically trying to suss out, is this pre or post pandemic? And I'm leaning post. I'm leaning this is like 2022. We are in Madrid, Spain in 2022. Sure. Seems reasonable. All right, let's go to Spain. Let's go to Madrid. Let's just do a cursory look through here and see if there's anything that happens to call itself out as a Chinatown. Hey, is there going to be anything here that happens to call itself out as a Chinatown? Because if not, I mean, that's cool, but if there is, that'd be likelier to be a little bit more placeally accurate, you know? No? Well, we got Gran Via and Malasaña and Arapiles and Gastimbide and, oh, my pronunciation is horrible. And Valhermoso and Belas Vistas and Ciudad Jardín, and the San Juan Bautista and Piovera and the Apostol Santiago, and none of these call themselves out as a Chinatown, so fuck it. All right, we are in Madrid, Spain, right about, there, in, what did I say, 2022? Sure. We are in Madrid, Spain in 2025. Okay. Works for me. Final score, 44,142 with a good-sized assist from Peter S. Thank you very much for that. But still, victory and triumph and glory and good at video games, sort of, for me. For today's immaculate grid, we need Giants and Brewers and Reds and A's and dudes what had 6-win seasons and dudes what played center field. All right. And Oakland Athletic, who had a 6 or more win above replacement season, is a good question. Miguel Tejada, maybe? Like, peak Miguel Tejada? Would he have been a 6-win guy? That's a very good season. That's a very good season to be 6 wins above replacement. Dude who had a 6-win season and played center field is Aaron Judge, by the way. Aaron Judge is a dude who had a 6-win season and played center field. Dude who had a 6-win season for the A's is... I mean, you can go back to Jose Canseco. Yeah? The 40-40 season, Jose Canseco? That's probably 6 wins. His defense might have been terrible, but I bet you Jose Canseco had a 6-win season. Jose Canseco had a 6-win season. Okay. Dude who played for the Reds and had a 6-WAR season is going to be Joey Votto. I realize he was a first baseman, and it's difficult for them to get WARs, but he was very good at it, so. Dude who played, Hickey Renderson. He probably, he probably had 1 or 2 of them, too. He was good. He was solid. Dude who played for the Giants and also the A's is, we're just going to take the layup here, it's Barry Zito. Dude who played for the Giants and also played center field is... Hold on a moment, I have to cough. I have successfully coughed. Did Hunter Pence ever play center? Maybe once? That seems like it would have gone badly, but, you know. Oh, God. Why do I want to say Coco Crisp? Coco Crisp was never a Giant that I can think of. Cody Ross, I think, played center for the Giants one time. That seems reasonable. Cody Ross, he played center field for the Giants. Dude who played center field for the Brewers is Scott Podsednik? Yeah. Scott Podsednik, you played center field for the Brewers. Sam feels like National League outfielders are more likely to play all of the positions because of double switch shenanigans. That's reasonable, I would think. National League guys are more likely to move around. I think it's just also true that a lot of corner outfielders get stuck in center field at some point when they're young because, hey, if you can stick in center field, that's great. And then they can't because, they're Cody Ross. But a very young and athletic Cody Ross could have played center field and then couldn't anymore and didn't. So, dude who played for the Brewers and the A's is a good question. Man, all of these are good questions, actually. He was, this is true. Dude who played for the Brewers and the A's. I know he played center for the Marlins, so A dude who played for the Brewers and the A's. Well, Frank Thomas was an A, but never a Brewer. Ben Sheets was a Brewer, but neither Red nor A. Zach Greinke was a Brewer, neither Red nor A nor Giant. Billy Hamilton, the modern fast one, was a Red, but not a Brewer or a Giant. Jed Lowry was an A, but not a Brewer. Doug Drabeck was a Brewer, but not an A. Scott Schoenweiss was a Red, but I don't think he was a Brewer or a Giant. Javi Lopez, the left-handed reliever, was a Giant, but not a Red. Ken Griffey's kid was a Red, but not a Brewer or a Giant. Adam Dunn was a Red, but not a Brewer or a Giant. Matt Stairs was a Brewer and an A. Ha ha! Okay. Let's see here. Brandon Phillips was a Red, but not a Brewer or a Giant. Raleigh Fingers was a Brewer, but not a Red. John Franco was a Red. Rob Nen was a Giant. Rod Beck was a Giant. This doesn't help. Brian Wilson was a Giant, but not a Red. Scott Rowland was a Red, but not a Brewer or a Giant. Ed Sprague was a Brewer, but not a Red. Paul Molitor was a Brewer, but not a Red. Barry Bonds was a Giant, but not a Red. Joe Morgan was a Giant, wasn't he? I know he was a Red. Joe Morgan was a Padre. Joe Morgan was a Padre and a Red. Was he also a Giant? Fuck. God, no. Joe Morgan was not a Giant. Pete Rose was a Red. Was he a Brewer? No, he was an Expo. That doesn't help. Bartolo Colon was an Expo, but that's beside the point. CC Sabathia was a Brewer, but not a Red. Jeff Cirillo was a Brewer, but not a Red. Richie Sexton was a Brewer, but not a Red. Josh Hamilton was a Red, but not a Brewer or a Giant. Karl Marx was a Red, but not a Brewer or a Giant. Joe Morgan was a Padre. That's true. Unless I'm conflating the Padres and the Giants, in which case it's not true. In which case Joe Morgan was a Red and a Giant. So now we have to look. Joe Morgan was a Red and a Giant. God, so bad I was right. God, was right in the middle of my communism riff. As I was saying, Karl Marx was a Red, but not a Brewer. Joseph Engels was a Red, but not a Brewer. Samuel Adams was a Brewer, but not a Red. Joe McCarthy hated Reds and Brewers. He was a fucking capitalist Puritan motherfucker. Anyway, Sam Malone played for the Red Sox, but he was also fake. So that doesn't help. Fuck on a fuck. I wonder how many of the dudes I've named absolutely fit the square. Probably at least 5. Let's see here. Scott Williamson was a Red, but not a Brewer. Oh, boy. BJ Upton was a Brewer, wasn't he? I think Justin Upton was a Brewer. I think both of the Uptons were Brewers and neither of them were Reds. Edwin Encarnacion was a Red, but not a Brewer. Jeff Suppan was a Brewer, but not a Red. Jeez. I hate being one square away from me and I could have just guessed something wrong already. Fuck. Danny Darwin was a Brewer, I think, but not a Red. The Cincinnati Reds. Jesus Christ. All right, so John Olerud wasn't a brewer or a red. Jamie Moyer was neither. Jamie Moyer was a red, actually. I don't think he was a brewer. Sam can think of a dude who fits this who was also a Met. Alejandro De Asa? Okay. Tyrone Taylor is a Met and was a brewer. Was Tyrone Taylor a red? No, I don't think so. Carlos Delgado was a Met. Now we've just got a third team coming to play here. Let's name some New York Mets. Benny Agbayani was a New York Met. No. Bernard Gilkey was a New York. No, okay. Oh, boy. Dominic Smith was a Met. No. Corey Lytle was a Philly and a Yankee and a pilot, and he wasn't good at any of those. So, that's not fair. He was good for the Phillies and the Yankees. Let's see here. Jeez, I'm crow. The addition of the Mets has not helped. Robin Ventura was a Met. Jose Reyes was a Met and a shitbag, but he was neither a red nor a brewer. Octavio Dotel? I think Octavio Dotel was a... No, that doesn't feel right. Joaquin... No, it's not Joaquin Benoit. It's not Edwin Jackson. It's not Russ Ortiz. It's not Ramon Martinez. It's not Pedro Martinez. It's not Mookie Betts. It's not David Price. It's not any of the dudes I ever use for any of the things ever. Oh, God. Okay. Kelly Johnson was a Met, but not a brewer or a red. There is an old button. Oh, God. Mike Greenwell doesn't fit the square. Why does Sam know more about me than I know about me? Let's say... I gotta find this Met. This Met is annoying me. Maybe it is Tyrone Taylor. Maybe Tyrone Taylor was a red. I know he was a brewer. No, he came up with the Brewers. A former Red Sox. So now there's a guy who was on the Red Sox, who was also on the Brewers and the Reds, but not the Mets. Okay. I've already said Jeff Suppan. Jeff Suppan was not on the Reds. I already said Danny Darwin. He was, I don't think, on the Reds. Frank Viola? Was Frank Viola? No. Mo Vaughn wasn't on. Okay. Nomar Garcia. No. Luis Alicea? No, he was on the Cardinals and other things. Jason Varitek was a Mariners prospect, and then he became a career Red Sox dude. I think Doug Mirabelli was on the Reds, but I don't think he was on the Brewers, and I'm not sure why I think he was on the Reds, come to think of it. Kevin Cash was on the Rays, which doesn't help. Scott Cooper was no. Lee Tinsley was on the Reds. No. Troy O'Leary was a Brewer, I think. Jackie Bradley was a Brewer. Was Jackie Bradley on the Reds? I think he caught on with Atlanta. I don't think he was a Red. He might have been a Red. It's possible that he was a Red. Jackie Bradley's like the kind of dude who would get chances regularly just because he used to be good at defense and every once in a while he'd hit a homer. And dudes who were good at defense and every once in a while they hit homers are very valuable to have. And like one time Jackie Bradley had half of a good season and everybody thought he was going to be the best player in baseball. And then he turned out to be Jackie Bradley because he had just had half of a good season. But I don't think he was a Red, so that's beside the point. Son of a fuck. God. I already named a former Red Sox dude in this grid. Jose Canseco. And Matt Stairs for that. And Cody Ross. There were 3 former Red Sox on this fucking grid. Gah! Angry. Or Orlando Cabrera was never. Mark Bellhorn. Was Mark Bellhorn? No. Todd Walker? Wait. Todd Walker? He was a Cub. They're in the same division as the Brewers and the Reds. Now. Oh, God. Okay. All right. I give up. I'm just gonna pull a guy out of thin fucking air. Sitting here, thinking, oh, God damn it. Johnny Cueto. Wait. Oh, the guy who was on the Mets was also on the fucking... Okay. So there's a guy who in his career played for at least 4 teams. And those teams were the Mets, the Red Sox, the Reds, and the Brewers. Okay. Darryl Strawberry. No. Darryl Strawberry was not a Red. That I know of. He was into the white. It's a cocaine joke. I give up. I'm saying Octavio Dotel. It's not Octavio Dotel. Mike must... Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck this square. There are 105 dudes who fit this... Mike Cam. Okay. Jim Edmonds played for the Reds and the Brewers? Unacceptable. Okay, nobody who played for the Reds and the Brewers had even 10 fucking wins. Jesse Winker. Jesse Winker played for the Brewers? Okay. Oh, Greg Vaughn. I've heard of Greg Vaughn. Giovanni Gallardo played for the Reds? Hunter Renfroe. You said Hunter... Former White Sox darling Jason Beret played for the Reds and the... Okay. All right. Dave Parker played for the Reds and the Brewers. What we have learned is that no one ever in the history of baseball actually played for the Reds and the Brewers, and anyone who says they did is lying. Thank you for watching Good Morning Mini Motorways. We'll be back tomorrow with more. God.